Welcome back, baseball fans. As we continue our Legends in the Making playthrough, we are going to go through 1947, 1948, 1949 to close out the decade in this episode. Coming off of one of our worst seasons, finishing 8 games back behind the Cubs, 79-75. We still were above 500, but we were struggling a little bit there. So we are set to go for the first year player draft. It's happening before all of the offseason awards are happening this time. And we're going to see how we do. Now, little baseball history for us before we dive into the draft. I did not realize until I had just picked up a new baseball history book. I've been referencing Joe Posnanski and baseball history podcasts and things like that. Well, I just picked up a book that's from 2006, so it's an older book, but it's called Shades of Glory, and it's about the Negro Leagues. And it's really interesting in that this is from the Baseball Hall of Fame that published it. But I did not realize on our team in this playthrough, we have had several of the first Negro League players inducted into the Hall of Fame. We've had Satchel Paige, we've had Cool Papa Bell, Oscar Charleston, Monte Irvin, and Martin Dehigo, who was the first and only Latin nominee at the time. So I thought that was fascinating. I also learned that apparently from 1938 to 1948, the Negro League All-Star Game, East-West All-Star Game, outdrew the Major League All-Star Game 7 out of those 10 years, which is also really interesting to me as we go. And they go into the early baseball rules and how in the 1800s you had baseball like with pitchers pitching underhand. You had 12 balls for a walk, then 8, then 10, then 6, then until they finally settled on 4. It's just really interesting, some of the early history stuff, diving into that. So far it's been a good book. Recommend it. Now, as we go for the first year player draft, we are going to see, why are we drafting way in the back? That feels not good. What is this based off? Oh, the off season hasn't started yet. So this is based off 2 years ago. That's a shame. Okay. Well, let's start the draft. Let's look at the draft pool. There's some good ones in this one too. So we have Joe Adcock, Harvey Haddix, Bob Rush, Roy Sievers, Kurt Simmons, Whitey Ford, Don Hoke. I mean, there are some good names in this one. So there's more depth. Don Larson down here. I mean, he's best known for his perfect game in the World Series, but he had a okay run. Man, we're going to miss out on some of these. I thought we were going to draft earlier and be able to have a shot at Whitey Ford. That's very disappointing. All right, let's continue with the draft and see how it goes. Okay, who's going to be off the books first? For the best record World Series pennant winning Cubs, they get to take the number 1 pick. And they are going to take Joe Adcock. The Reds get Kurt Simmons. Phillies with Bob Rush. Harvey Haddix goes to the White Sox. The Giants take John Ritchie. Cleveland takes Whitey Ford. Gus Bell goes to the Red Sox. The Braves get Don Hoke. Lou Brissy. Jim Brosnan. The Yankees get Willie Puddinhead Jones. Big George Crow goes to the Athletics. The Dodgers get Bob Buell. Johnny Logan. Don Larson goes to the Tigers. We would have definitely had a shot at him. Jim Jr. Gilliam. Wendy McCall. And now, last, certainly least, as far as what we're going to be picking from. That one hurts. Roy Sievers is standing out to me. Solid career. 1,700 hits, 300 home runs. He's going to have a run in the 50s, possibly. He stands out to me. His nickname's Squirrel. He was a St. Louis player. Charlie Maxwell. Run in Detroit, but not as prominent. I know we need pitching help as well. Lou Burdett is a potential one. I mean, he has a good run in Milwaukee. Amassing 200 wins. Only 1,000 strikeouts. Not a big strikeout guy. Ooh, that's a good question. I think we're going to go with. There's going to be more outfielders. So we're going to get Burdett because we need to start going building up our pitching. Okay, and we will jump ahead to the through the offseason. We'll wrap up the awards when we get back, and we will also check out where we're at going into the 1947 season. All right, we're going to pick up after the awards have been awarded here because I wanted to show some changes I've already made. We did trade for Warren Spahn. We traded away Ferris Fain, our first baseman, Danny Litweiler, and Leonardo Medina, who our fans were not happy about that one, the Cuban Negro League player, but we don't know what he's going to do. So that's where we traded him away for somebody who we know what they're going to do with Warren Spahn having an amazing Hall of Fame career. We needed pitching help when we got it. And another thing that we did is when we look at our draft, we got, not only did we get Lou Burdett, but Roy Sievers was still there and Charlie Maxwell. And then I took Dusty Rhodes because we can always hit him with a big elbow if things aren't going our way. So I just had to. And then lots of names that we don't know. So when we look at the awards for this year, let's see how we do. So the AL, we have Hal Newhouser getting a Gold Glove, Bill Dickey again, Columbine, Joe Gordon. Man, he is only 3, but he's got the All-Stars and the Silver Sluggers. He's a Hall of Fame career. Some new names here. Dane Clay, Gilwater, Estala. In the NL, we have Harry Breachin, Roy Campanella yet again, picking up another one. McCormick, Jackie Robinson getting one. Sternweiss, he's having a good run. Eddie Miller, Stan Musial for us. AL reliever went to Jumbo Brown. That's his third one. Gap in between some of those as well. So unanimously with his 18 saves for the Yankees. In the NL, Lon Warnicki picks it up, beating out Henry Merchant. The Platinum Stick Award winners go to Terrace McDuffie in the AL, Salkeld. So we got some new names here. Luke Appling gets another one. He's picked up 4 now. And then Ted Williams hitting .340 with 20 home runs. Again, the home run totals are still low. Joe DiMaggio getting one again, finally. It's been a while for him, I feel like. Yeah, 1942, 1945. So not as long as I guess I thought. It just seems like longer for Joe D to not be able up there. And Dixie Walker hitting .345, having a great line as far as that goes. In the NL, Henry McHenry. What an alliterative name that one is. Aaron Robinson, Mickey Vernon, Jackie Robinson picking one up, Karofsky, Johnny Pesky, Charlie Keller, Jim Russell. No one for us, sadly. Rookie of the Year went to Ralph Kiner. No surprise there. 31 home runs, 253 average for Philadelphia. Unanimous selection in the AL. In the NL, George Kell only losing 1 vote to Allie Clark, who hit .301. George Kell with his .303, 57 RBI, 1 home run. Did he do anything? Only 12 stolen bases. 184 hits. Allie Clark, 129 hits. So, yeah, quite a bit of difference there. And Kell was a third baseman defensively. Maybe helps him. We've got Cy Young going to Hal Newhouser. Unanimous as well. 2.2 ERA, 21 wins. Dominating in the AL. In the NL, went to Fred Hutchinson in a close vote. Henry Merchant was 4th, getting the second amount of first place votes. So tight one there. We had Thornton Lee and Satchel Paige making an appearance on there. MVP goes to Ted Williams. Hal Newhouser picked up 2 votes. But the Splendid Splinter there is going to add to getting his 3rd MVP award. He's got lots of All-Stars, lots of Platinum Stick Award winnings. As far as we go to his batting, he has 1,400 hits, .327 average. He's led the league in walks 6 straight years. He's got a Triple Crown. Yep, he's doing it. It's just the home runs. I think the home runs might start to pick up in 47, 48, 49 a little bit because that's when we start having integration in real life. And so I think maybe that will disperse the batting a little bit. We'll find out. In the NL, we had Mickey Vernon and then Johnny Mize. Stan Musial picking up 1 vote, but Mickey Vernon taking it, the first baseman, hitting .348 with 84 RBI. So that's where we stand going into the rest of the offseason. So we're going to jump ahead to opening day. I'm excited for the team. Cool Papa Bell is looking like he's going to be good again. At the age of 43, he might be getting a start. It's crazy. And Hank Greenberg and Stan Musial now are competing here. And Greenberg, unfortunately, is probably not going to make the Hall of Fame. He's not going to have the numbers, I don't think, because of this gap here. So we'll see how it goes. But we're going to jump ahead to the opening day. Here we are, opening day 1947, the year that Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier and Larry Doby came in. And I believe there were a couple, Hank Thompson maybe, and somebody else for the Browns, all made their debuts in 1947. So this is where I think things will start to change a little bit as we get into more of these players who play from the beginning in the majors, or at least very little. We'll have more integration happening here in real life that goes along with their game. Now, Hall of Fame voting results, Herb Pennock's the only one playing for Cleveland that gets into the Hall. So he led the league in losses 24 in 1931, but he was 253 and 261, 4.1 ERA, 1,300 strikeouts. As far as how that stacks up, he did end up with more wins, a lot more losses as well. Everything else was roughly the same. He got more strikeouts, but innings pitched 4,300. In real life, he had 3,500, so he pitched a lot longer than he did. So he retired in 1943 in reality, but he pitched till 1939. 45 years old, and still had a solid couple of seasons near the end there as a reliever. So congratulations, Herb, the Knight of Kennett Square, making the Hall. But it doesn't look like anybody else. Bill Terry looks like he's in line to do it. The rest, not so much. Chuck Klein had several. No, he didn't have as good of years as I expected. I thought he did. His name was showing up more, I felt like. But Rube Wahlberg, others that didn't really make any impact at all or drop from the ballot. We did make another trade. We shopped around Reynaldo Drake, who is another one that we don't know as a Cuban what he's going to do. He could be a solid player. Defensively, he's there, but we were able to trade him away. Sal Magli at 29 offered up to us. Hasn't done much so far for the White Sox, but he has his best years in the 1950s. And so that's what we're banking on, is that we'll be able to use him in the 1950s to help us have a lot of success. So we are going with Cool Papa Bell, then Eddie Stanky, Stan Musial, Campanella, Frio, Monte Irvin, Dandridge, and Rizzuto. Greenberg's going to be backing up several of these guys. And we have our rotation being Page, Spahn, Luis Tiant at 40, Thornton Lee at 40, and Satchel Paige are all at 40. So we got some veterans, to say the least. And Kirby Higbee is going to be playing the role of stopper this season. Hopefully things go much better than last year, and we can find ourselves back in the World Series. So let's jump ahead to the All-Star break. At the All-Star break, we find ourselves tied with the New York Giants, and unfortunately the Giants have been beating us quite a bit. We struggled for a while. Cool Papa Bell was out of the lineup for about 4 weeks. He came back. He's been a great catalyst up at the front for us with a .414 on-base percentage. He's doing great. 12 stolen bases. He's got a little pop to his bat, and he's just back. The pitching's doing fine. Our defense is doing okay. The errors have gone up a little bit, but our defensive efficiency, zone rating as well. The bullpen's been struggling. Hitting's been struggling as far as getting runs across. And again, we don't have the home runs that we would like to have, but we'll see where the standings are, everybody. So we're tied. Pirates, Cubs, Phillies, Dodgers all have a chance to make a run. Even the Braves do. The Reds are the only ones who are really out. The Browns are back up on top over in the American League with the White Sox chasing after them. There's several teams that maybe could put a run together, but it's probably unlikely. So when we look at our league leaders, Tommy Holmes is leading the AL along with Luis Olmo at 342. Buck Leonard has 20 home runs at the break. That is one of the biggest we've seen in quite a while. So he's one of those. He comes from the Negro Leagues, and we don't know what he had, but he's had nothing the last several years, and now all of a sudden, bam, he's back. He's a Hall of Famer, I believe, in real life. Joe Gordon and Ralph Kiner both have 16, so we do have the power number starting to inch up a little bit. We could have maybe a 30, 40 home run. A couple of guys hit that. Enos Slaughter, 53 RBIs, because Leonard's somehow not bringing in the runs, though. Kiner, 51. Stolen bases, we have 12 for Johnny Hopp. Augie Galen with the OPS. Ted Williams, he's hitting 267, struggling in this season. 47, he hit 343, so that's That's interesting that he's dropped so far off his typical pace. But he has 15 home runs. So he just still doing he's increased his power as well. So the power in the AL has gone up. Hoot Evers has the batter WAR. He's hitting 327. He also has a 28 game hitting streak that he ended in the season. Yogi Berra had a 14 game hitting streak showing up in our standings here for the first time. ERA goes to Johnny Schmitz at 193. Ed Lopat has 13. Schmitz has 11. Strikeouts, Hal Newhouser with 102. He's having another good, solid season for Washington. The saves, 16 saves to Al Benton, and Newhouser has the pitcher WAR at 3.8. In the NL, we have Grady Hatton at 330, Tommy Butts at 325, Stan Musial, our man, at 319, Stan the man. Josh Gibson has 15 home runs, continuing what will surely be a Hall of Fame career. He has passed 433 home runs. So that is quite a feat in this setting especially. And look at that. His Hall of Fame monitor is 247. His standards, everything there he's going to end up in the Hall. Good for him. Kurt Keltner, 13. Del Ennis has 53 RBI. Cool Papa Bell leading the league with 12 stolen bases even after missing 4 weeks. So that's encouraging. Musial has the OPS lead because he's got an on base of 419. Batter WAR goes to Willard Marshall, followed by Vern Stevens. The hitting streak, Pete Reiser had 20. Ferrillo had 16. He struggled early on, but he's back up to 276 now. Only 1 home run, disappointingly. Bobo Newsom with a 2.3 ERA. Ewell Blackwell with 11 wins and 95 strikeouts. What's his ERA? 3.75 is way off the list. Bob Feller struggling a little bit in this one. Kirby Higbee has 16 saves for us, so that's also nice to see. And Ewell Blackwell with a 4.1 pitcher WAR. Let's check in on Feller. So Feller, starting in as an 18-year-old, then he missed World War II, and now he's back. And I know this is when Cleveland starts picking it up and has a good run, and he does, but he also kind of throws his arm out in 46, going for that strikeout record, the 348 that he hits. So that's insane. But he got nowhere near that here. But he threw 371 innings. 46, he threw 329. So he did miss that, but he's had lots of strikeouts. 162 wins. He only has 2 All-Star appearances. So he's low on the Hall of Fame list because he doesn't have the awards or anything to go with it, surprisingly. And he's not going to pick up awards this time, but he'll lead the league again and get some gray and black ink. But he's just not been able to put together the wins because he's been playing for just a poor team. Now, when we check out the All-Star rosters in the AL, where are we at? Here we go. In the AL, Ray Brown, Ed Lopat, Hal Newhouser, Johnny Schmitz getting the start. Joe Cascarella also noted as a starting reliever, I guess. Walker Cooper at catcher. Columbine at first. Joe Gordon again. No surprise there. Luke Appling again at short. Ted Williams again. Joe DiMaggio again. Yogi Berra in right field. Interesting. And Tommy Holmes getting the start, though. 3 right fielders here. In the NL, Spud Chandler, Leon Day. Thornton Lee for us. Satchel Paige, Warren Spahn. We have 3 up there. The start going to Lon Warnicki and Fred Hutchinson as far as pitchers go. Campanella losing out the starting position this time to Josh Gibson, but that's deserved for him. But Campanella's hitting 296 and are 294 now. 5 home runs, 32 RBI, so he's got a little bit more pop. He's got the work because his defense is going to be stellar. Johnny Mize getting beat out by Stan Musial this time, but Jackie Robinson also getting a starting nod, both at first base. Interesting. Tommy Butts at second. Whitey Karofsky is third, so there's no shortstop listed. That's why Jackie and Tommy are both listed there at started. Cool Papa Bell making the first All-Star team appearance for Cool Papa Bell. Good for him. I'd love to see him make the Hall, but I don't know that he will. He just doesn't have the numbers. He's got numbers here, but he just couldn't. He was kind of just a bit player for us for too long. Unless he plays till he's 50, who knows? He might, the way he keeps coming back. Del Ennis gets the start at left. Charlie Keller as well gets the start in the outfield, and Willard Marshall there. So that's where we're at. The prospect list: Smokey Burgess, Duke Snyder, Al Rosen. Duke's up in the majors now a little bit. Gil Hodges, not to the majors yet. Harvey Haddock, Stan Lapata. So that's where we're at. We are having solid season, kind of. Monte Irvin struggling. Ferrillo is starting to get going. Phil Rizzuto has struggled. Satchel Paige has done well. Spawn has done well for us. Luis Tiant's done well. Thornton Lee's done well. So that's been good as far as Greenberg goes. If you're interested, 143 average, 3 home runs and 7 starts, 50 or 65 plate appearances. So he's been struggling. That's why he's not breaking into any kind of starting lineup. But that's where we're at. And hopefully down the stretch, we're going to be able to defeat the Giants and move into the World Series again to make it back after losing our last time in 1945. So let's jump ahead to see how the rest of the season plays out. Well, we are at the end of the 1947 season, and it has come down the stretch. The Giants faded. The Cubs faded. They were in first at one point in the second half. The Dodgers couldn't hold on, but the Pirates and us are tied. It's going to come down to this last game. We're sending Luis Tiant out there. Most likely against, he's had a very good season. He won his 200th game this year. Satchel's the other one that I don't know who to send out when we look at the latest games. It's going to be Satchel's been beat around a little bit. Tiant's been on a much better run, so we're going to let Tiant go out there. Cool Papa Bell has, unfortunately, he's been out for the year. He's missed the last month and a half, so things aren't going well for him. We're going to hope we can get this one and make it and win the pennant, but we're going up against Ewell Blackwell, who's a 20-game winner, so we're going to see how this one plays out. Hopefully we get the win on this one. And we did get the win, 5-1, pulled it out, starting off hot. 5 in the first 2 innings. Tiant then shut them down. 1 strikeout, but only 5 hits over 8 innings, and the Schoolboy Rowe coming in to lock it down. Being Blackwell, we had a couple doubles or just 1 double by Dandridge. Some stolen bases. So things went well. No errors. We were able to put together some runs there. Monte Irvin with 3 RBI, winning it for us, sending us to the playoffs against the crosstown rival St. Louis Browns, who make it yet again. And so this will be interesting to see how this thing shakes out. We are looking at, they are first in runs scored and first in runs against in their league. We are third and first, so we have 2 dominant pitching teams. We are much better at home than on the road, 641 win percentage to 455. They are also much better on both, but they also just won more on each one. So they flipped our record home and away. So that's going to be a tough one to win, but we'll see how it goes. And we see the history of this. They made it and won it last year in 1946. They've won 2 championships, 5 pennants. We've won 9 pennants, 5 championships. We haven't won the championship since 1940, though. So we're going to hopefully be able to do that. So let's see how it plays out as we go. Right. Well, game 1 did not turn out the way we thought. Page got batted around again, getting beat up. Denny Galehouse also then got beat up. We couldn't get anything going. Only 4 hits against Johnny Schmitz in that one. So now we're sending Spawn out there against Fred Martin, hopefully bouncing back as we play in St. Louis. So it's all home game and away. And we go down to defeat yet again. Monte Irvin did get us a home run, but so did Enos Slaughter for them. And Spawn was not able to do enough. It's going to be a tough series for us. All right, game 3 sends our man Luis Tiant. He was able to win a clutch one to get us into this position. Hopefully he can get us started in the right way. He does. We win 3-2 thanks to Dandridge home run. Schoolboy Rowe gets the win. Tiant did pitch 6 scoreless innings, 2 strikeouts. So good news for us as we get ready to hopefully get things flowing. We must be playing at home as far as this part of the stretch goes. And Thornton Lee's going to be going out there next for us, who had another solid season. We'll see how he does. And game 4, Thornton Lee is going to see us go down. Mort Cooper gets the loss. Slaughter, Cardinal in real life, but Musial got on the board there, so this is not turning out well. I'm fearful that we're going to go out in 5 games. Okay, so here we are, sending Page back out there, game 5. And we do bounce back, and Satchel does have a much, much better game that time. We get Dandridge with a second home run of the series, and so we're able to pull within to make it 3-2 as we continue on, seeing if Spawn can get us into Game 7. So Game 6, we're sending out Warren Spawn. Hopefully he has a bounce back just like Satchel did. We do get the win 6-0. Spawn does bounce back, has a masterpiece, I'm guessing. 5 hits shutout. He pitched 8 of the innings. Schoolboy Rowe came in to finish it off. Bauer got another stolen base. Stanky and Musial both hitting triples. Bauer with a double. It's going to be a tight one. And trying to finish this Game 7, Luis Tiant. All right, the Browns have had our number the last few times, and so now we're sending out Luis Tiant, 200-game winner. He shut him down the first time. We're going to hope he does it again. He got us our first win of the series. See if he can get us the last one of the series as well, going up against Lefty Bo. And we do win 4-3. Monte Irvin with a home run. Slaughter with his third home run. Ray Dandridge gets the MVP for us, hitting .321 with 8 RBI, 2 home runs. Let's check out this box score. So they got off to a 2-0 lead. Then we were able to take the lead in the 5th. They tied it in the 7th. In the top of the 9th, Monte Irvin hit a solo home run. Well done, Monte. And so Tiant did get beat up a little bit big. And Kirby Higbee, who ended up with 29 saves for the year, locking it down. So we do get the title. Let's check out the final results as far as the league leaders go. Tommy Holmes won the batting title in the AL with 339. Buck Leonard, 37 home runs. Ted Williams getting to 30. So we did see a huge spike in home run totals compared to what we've had. Joe Gordon and Ted Williams both breaking 100 RBI. Bob Dillinger with 25 stolen bases. Williams back up there with OPS. Hoot Evers getting the WAR title. Hoot Evers also a 28-game hitting streak held for the rest of the year. Johnny Schmitz, who we beat in the World Series, 2.23 ERA. Ed Lopat with 19 wins. Hal Newhouser, 187 strikeouts. Al Benton with 30 saves. I believe that ties the record. Johnny Sane, 7-1 pitcher WAR. Stan Musial gets the batting title, 337, beating out Andy Pafko. Josh Gibson with 35 home runs. So we see 3 30 home run hitting teams. Johnny Mize getting back up there, 28. Charlie Keller having another stellar season as well. Dell Ennis and Bill Nicholson both topping 100 RBI. Gibson almost got up there, hitting 265 as well. So he's been having solid numbers. Cool Papa Bell, despite missing so many games, he only played in 90 games, 26 stolen bases. Think of what he could have done if he could have played 120, 130 games. Stan Musial gets the OPS. Willard Marshall gets the WAR. Hitting streak was at 20 still. Luis Tiant with the ERA title. Hopefully that helps him. He's not got a shot at the... He's led the league in shutouts, quality start percentage. I don't know. ERA, he's led the league. He's been in the top 5 top 10 several times. But he doesn't, even with 201 wins, 1,500 strikeouts, he just hasn't had the accolades. Maybe this will be his year to get into that Hall of Fame watch. Wins went to Fred Hutchinson. Tiant was 3rd. Ewell Blackwell beating out Bob Feller for the strikeout crown. Kirby Higbee leading the saves by quite a bit, hitting 29, and Ewell Blackwell with pitcher WAR. So that's where we're at the end of 1947 season. We're going to wrap this season up and head into the off season. And we have arrived at the first year player draft. We are in November here, and we get, again, we missed out on the drafting where we could have actually drafted up, but now we are drafting 16th. And so we're going to start the draft, and we're going to check out who the top players are. We are looking at Willie Mays has arrived. He's going to jump right in almost. Man, Joe Adcock apparently did not sign. He was the number 1 pick last year by the Cubs, and he did not sign with them. Elston Howard is in. Robin Roberts, fantastic pitcher. Bob Neiman, Bill Henry, Bob Buell, Bob Grin. I'm not seeing Frank Sullivan. That's not one I know. Frank Thomas, first baseman Frank Thomas, not the White Sox one, but one that was still very good. So he's one to keep an eye on. And I don't know other ones down here. The names are not sticking out to me. Jim Busby has a lot of contact potential. He must have. Oh, yeah, he had a solid, well, not really. 262 career hitter in the 50s. Not the best. So we're going to see who goes off. I'm going to guess these four are going off really quickly here. The Reds are going to get somebody. Willie Mays is gone. The Cubs are going to pick up Elston Howard. They decided not to go with Joe Adcock that time. The Yankees are going to take Joe Adcock instead. Boston gets Robin Roberts. We're going to hope Frank Thomas falls to us. Bob Neiman goes to the Tigers. Red Sox take Chance. Bill Henry to the Athletics. The Phillies, Dick Hyde. Frank Sullivan to the Senators. Bobby Chafanar to the Cleveland. The Cubs, again, drafting before us, get Bob Grimm. Bob Turley goes to the Dodgers. Bob Buell to the Giants. Walt Moose Morin to the Dodgers. Pirates get Jim Purcell. So we could take Tom Smoke Sturdivant, who does pitch, doesn't really start, so I don't know why he wouldn't really be that valuable to us when we got Frank Thomas sitting out there instead, who I think will be a better one long term. If nothing else, we can trade him. So we're going to take Frank Thomas with our pick. And the rest of the first round will be Jim Lemon to the White Sox. The Browns take Tom Smoke Sturdivant. And then that brings us to round 2 with the Reds. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up this draft and the offseason here to get ready for 1948. Opening day, 1948, going up against the Cincinnati Reds. Our lineup in the season is going to be Cool Papa Bell, again, the ageless one, 44 years old. He's back from a 4 to 5 month injury. Hopefully he can play healthy this season. Eddie Stanky will be at second base. Stan the Man Musial third at right field. Hank Greenberg right now is going to be our first baseman, but Eddie Robinson is going to get a lot of batting as well. Roy Campanella is batting fifth. Carl Furillo at sixth. Ray Dandridge has been having just a solid career at 34 years old there. And Phil Rizzuto, shortstop, batting eighth. Our rotation is going to be Satchel Paige at 41. He looks ready to go again. Luis Tiant at 41. Again, still dominating. Warren Spahn at 26 years old is coming into his prime, hopefully soon. And Preacher Rowe is going to get his chance at 32. And it just struck me that not only do I have Preacher Rowe, I have Sal Magley. I've got two of the big-time Brooklyn Dodgers pitchers that were going to be helping them win the World Series. But we did make a trade during the offseason. We traded for Early Wynn. I noticed I had skipped through the rest of the Rule 5 draft, and I saw him on there, so I thought I could maybe get him cheap. And traded away Dusty Rhodes, Danny O'Connell, and Eddie Erott. But we got Early Wynn, who will be there for the future when Tiant and Page and those guys go away. So I'm excited to have him on the roster. Hall of Fame voting results, Jimmy Fox, Carl Hubble, and Gabby Hartnett, all in their first year. Jimmy Fox hit 418 home runs, 1,700 runs scored, 2,600 hits, 1,600 RBI. When we compare that to his real, he had 1,700 runs, 2,600 hits, 1,900. So a little on the power again, 534 to his. Now, he also played 3 fewer seasons in this, so he would not have got there. You can see how much he was slowing down at the end. So Jimmy Fox made it. Carl Hubble as well with 301 wins, our guy that we traded for. 304 ERA, 1,900 strikeouts when we compare him. We won 50 more games, 298 ERA, 1,600 strikeouts. About the same amount of time, but more pitching. So pitching proved to be dominant yet again. The ERA slightly higher, but everything else is good. And we see here he was, 6-time Cy Young winner, 2-time MVP. Should have had a higher one than that. But he did win for us. And then we have Gabby Hartnett, who finished with 2,400 hits, 220 home runs, 1,300 RBI, 1,200 runs, a 292 average. And when we stack that up, way more runs scored for Gabby. 1,900 hits, 236 home runs, 1,100 RBI. So again, he was a little right around his total. on those, but scored a whole lot more runs. So he must have been, well, he played for the Cubs, so maybe that's why he wasn't scoring as many runs. Who knows? But everything else roughly the same. We also, Al Rosen's going in for the Cubs as the top prospect this year. Gil Hodges is 3. Willie Mays is number 4. Smokey Burgess for the White Sox. So the White Sox have 2 and 3. Whew. And Willie Mays is for the Reds. So, of course, we're going to have to face him a lot. So that's exciting. And, before we go on, we got to check out the awards from last season. So we look at the Gold Gloves. Hal Newhouser won it for the AL. Quincy Trope, Roy Cullenbine, Joe Gordon again. So he just shows up in different things, but he's definitely going to be a Hall of Famer. I don't know how he, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He just finished his 10th year, so he should start showing up. His average has been a little but he's not been leading the league, I guess, enough, but even though he's winning Silver Sluggers and stuff at second. Oh, well. Sam, and he's getting Gold Gloves. Artie Wilson, Johnny Hop, Hoot Evers. In the NL, Harry Breachin, Roy Campanella, yet again, adding to his total. Stuffy Sternweiss, again, making his run count. Hank Majeski for us, getting his first one. Well done, Hank. Pete Reiser is showing back up. Thurman Tucker, Willard Marshall. Naheem gets the AL in a close race here with Cascarella. 21 saves did it. Better ERA. He walked more people, though. Kirby Higbee for us getting it. 10 wins, 9 losses, 29 saves, 2.92 ERA. Beating out Loy Warnicki of the Cubs, and the Cubs had third place as well. And the Silver Sluggers, or Platinum Stick Award winners in the AL, Larry French, Yogi Berra, showing up with his first one. Probably many. Buck Leonard gets his first one as well. Long time coming. Joe Gordon again, Luis Olmo, Billy Cox, Ted Williams, another one of 30 home runs. Joe DiMaggio, another one as well. In the NL, Lino Donoso, Josh Gibson picking up yet another. Look at all these all-star appearances. Good grief. We've got, 1 MVP, 9-time Silver Slugger, 2-time playoff series MVP, so World Series MVP, won the championship twice, 15-time all-star selection, 453 home runs. If he keeps going, could he challenge the Babes total? Stan Musial picking up at first base. He'll be in the outfield this time. Tommy Butts, Willard Brown, Dell Ennis, Andy Pafko, Bill Nicholson. Rookie of the Year in the AL goes to George Crowe of the Athletics, hitting 18 home runs, 81 RBI, and 293 average. In the NL, Grady Hatton with 16 unanimous votes for the Dodgers, 18 home runs again, 91 RBIs, and 319 average. And Cy Young goes to Johnny Schmitz for the Browns. 18 and 6, a 2.23 ERA, 129 strikeouts, beating Hal Newhouser, the defending one. Fred Hutchinson for the Boston Braves win it unanimously. 2.59 ERA, 160 strikeouts. I feel like that should have been a little closer, but Tiant is definitely second place in my book there as well. Ted Williams gets another MVP award. Not shocking. And Stan Musial getting his second MVP award for us. So he is going to lead us. Hopefully Roy Campanella finishing up there as well, but beating out Fred Hutchinson. Josh Gibson got 2 first place votes as well. So that's where we stand going into this season. We're going to hope for a strong season. Last year we did win the World Series, somehow pulling it out, even though having a struggling record. We're going to hope to repeat that this year. I like our team. I like our lineup, and we're going to see how it goes. All right, we are at the All-Star break, and what a first half of the season we've had. We are 12 games ahead, a .716 winning percentage, 58-23. It has been a heck of a run. When we look at this. Stan Musial's having an amazing year, probably making a run at a Triple Crown. Greenberg's hitting home runs, not there for average, though. We've had to move him down the lineup, but look at all these 300 hitters. We are first in everything, basically, outside of home runs and stolen bases and base running. And first in runs against and starters ERA. Bullpen ERA is great. Defense is okay, but the errors are a little high up there. We're doing great, so we're going to see how everything shapes up here. The Philadelphia Athletics are 5.5 up. playing well as well. In the AL, we are way ahead. If we don't win the pennant on this one, something's wrong. AL leaders, Dale Mitchell is beating Ted Williams with 344 to 343. Ralph Kiner has 22 home runs. He's starting to really show up. Ted Williams, 14. There's a gap there. Kiner at 79 RBIs as well. Followed by Williams. He's going to be neck and neck. Gene Hermansky with 12 stolen bases. Pee Wee Reese is showing up here. Ted Williams is leading an OPS. Batter WAR goes to Bob Elliott. Gene Hermansky had a 19-game hitting streak. Ended at some point. ERA goes to Art Houtman. 2.24 ERA, beating out Johnny Vandermeer, who's having a trade, it looks like. He went to Detroit. Who traded for him? Oh, he was released. Wow. Huh. Okay, that's surprising. He's out to prove something. Hal Newhouser is back up there on top on the wins. He also has a 2.75 ERA, so he's just outside the top three, and he's leading in strikeouts. Joe Cascarella has 18 saves for the White Sox, and Diomedes Olivo is leading the league in pitcher WAR after he went to another team as well. He was traded, though, for Irv Norman, Jim Brosnan, Bud Podbin, and Harry Bird, a bunch of guys I have not heard of. In the NL, Stan Musial is making a Triple Crown run. 371, he's got the lead over Josh Gibson, who's also having an amazing season. Wow. Ray Dandridge, I just mentioned him at the beginning of the season. Well, he's third in batting average. Allie Clark is leading the league in home runs, though. Stan Musial is leading in RBI, so Gibson does not have the home run or RBI totals to go along with it. Hank Shins with 11 stolen bases. Cool Papa Bell, who's been out for about 3 weeks. He was leading the league. Now he's not because he got hurt again. But he is 45 now, so it makes sense. Stan Musial's leading in OPS, but Piper Davis is in batter WAR, and he had a 23-game hitting streak. Stan had 20. Look at all of Stan's showing up in almost everything. ERA is going to Dave Koslow at a 1.99 ERA, but Luis Tiant, the ageless wonder there, 2.15. Warren Spahn with 13 wins leading the league. Yul Blackwell has 87 strikeouts, tied with Bob Feller, who's having a much better season this year. 8 wins, 2.83 ERA. Kirby Higbee, who just got hurt for 4 to 5 weeks, was leading the league in saves. He still is, but I don't know that will hold up. And Satchel Paige with a 3.8 is leading in pitcher WAR. He's 8-5, 57 strikeouts, 2.66 ERA. Preacher Rose also having a great season for us, which is why we are way up here. Now let's take a look at the All-Star teams. The results. We've got some new names up here. Hal Newhouser getting the start. He's back. Johnny Vandermeer out to prove something. Walker Cooper at catcher. George Crow at first. Joe Gordon again. Hank Thompson is showing up. Is that his first one? It is his first one. He's having a good year. Hitting, what is he hitting? 302 with 8 home runs, 9 stolen bases. Okay. Bob Elliott, Lou Boudreau, Artie Wilson, Ralph Kiner. No surprise there. Ted Williams, no surprise. Hoot Evers, no Joe DiMaggio, though. Okay, in the NL, Yul Blackwell, Spud Chandler, lots of names we recognize. Fred Hutchinson, denoted as a starter. Luis Tiant is in there, but that's about it. Wow, I'm surprised we don't have more pitchers. Roy Campanella losing out to Josh Gibson in the starting position, but understandably so this year with the way Gibson's crushing the ball. 428 on base as well. But Roy Campanella's doing great, hitting 300. Johnny Mize is back, 11 home runs. Where is he at overall? Let's see. 253. Wasn't 359 for in real life, so that's going to be tough. He's going to have a great end to his career. Piper Davis at second. Jackie Robinson is back in there as well. Ray Dandridge getting his fourth All-Star game. Phil Rizzuto, it's his second one, so it's been a few seasons, but he's back in the All-Star game. Minnie Minoso picking up his first one. First of what will probably be quite a few. Charlie Keller is back in there as well, so he's at 1940. He's been in there the last couple, so he's dominated the 1940s. Carl Furillo getting his second one with a year in between, but it's good to see our guy getting up there. And Stan Musial, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's been in there every season, so no surprise at all. He's just having an amazing, amazing season. So we're going to go to the World Series and hopefully see us in there, because otherwise something, like I said, drastically goes wrong, and we'll see how the season plays out. And we are in the World Series. Philadelphia, the Phillies, 90-win season, finished 10 games behind us as we were able to top 100 wins. Going up against the Philadelphia Athletics, we finished just as well. They did just as well as us, 97 wins, 14 games ahead. So when we look at how the regular season stood out, Dale Mitchell did end up with the batting title by beating Williams by quite a bit. Ralph Kiner with 32 home runs. Joe DiMaggio showing up there with 30, though. Buster Clarkson, 26. How many did Ted get? 24. RBI goes to Ralph Kiner at 125, so he did quite a number there on the ball. Gene Hermansky, 22 stolen bases. Williams, though, had the OPS. Batter war went to Bob Elliott, who had 19 home runs, 310 RBI, or 310 average, 87 RBI. Dale Mitchell had his 26-game hitting streak. Olivo had a 2.73 ERA, getting that crown. Newhouser, 23 wins, the next closest at 19. Olivo also got the strikeout record. He only had 19 wins, though, so he couldn't get to the Triple Crown. Jumbo Brown with 27 saves, beating out Joe Cascarella. Hal Newhouser got the pitcher war. In the NL, Musial did get the batting title, dropping down quite a bit, beating out his teammate by 1 point. Hallie Clark and Josh Gibson tied for home runs. Gibson's average did drop quite a bit and is on base, but still, it looks like all the hitting did. Musial got the RBI title, so he just didn't quite have enough. 2 home runs shy of a Triple Crown. Stolen bases, Cool Papa Bell, despite also ending the last week on the IL, getting second in stolen bases. So he did quite well for when he was able to. But Richie Ashburn gets the stolen base title with 25. Musial gets the OPS. Batter war goes to Ashburn. Larry Doby showing up in second. Hitting streak, Musial got to 20. Davis, though, at 23. ERA title goes to Satchel Paige. Warren Spahn gets the wins record, or wins title. Ewell Blackwell beating out Bob Feller for strikeouts. And Ted Wilkes with 27 saves. Kirby Higbee did come back. He ended up with 21. Preacher Rowe had 12, I believe. And then Satchel Paige with the pitcher war. So that's where we're at. Schoolboy Rowe. Sorry, I got my rows mixed up. Schoolboy Rowe had a 12 saves. Early Wynn did well for us as well. So Steve Gromick's the one who struggled. But Preacher Rowe had a great season as well. So that's where we're at. Greenberg did get 22 home runs. He did found himself in the second half of the season there. But nobody else was able to top 100 RBI or even 90 RBI outside of Musial. So this is where we're at. In the playoffs, we are going up against the Athletics, who had the highest scoring team, 836, definitely by far over us. Fourth in runs against, though, we were first. So hopefully our pitching can shut them down. They have not been to the playoffs since 1926. They have not won a championship in our simulation. They've won 3 prior to it, though, but not since 1913. So we are defending champions, hoping to add to this total. Look how bad the Cardinals must have been before we took over for them to still be 300 games under 500. That is shocking. So we're going to see how this thing plays out with Satchel leading us off. So we do win 4-2 to start off the first game. Satchel Paige, he did 6 2/3 innings, but then Schoolboy Rowe came and finished him off. No home runs hit, just 3 RBI. Thompson got 1 for them, but now we get Luis Tiant, who again with a sub-3 ERA, 17 wins. We'll see how he does with game 2. And we go down in game 2. Tiant got roughed up a little bit there. 5-1-4 early. Win did as well. Kirby Higbee did as well, walking 5. Campanella got a home run, though, and now we send Warren Spahn after the bye, after the day off. We're going to send Spahn out there to hopefully rein things back into our favor. He had 23 wins on the season. And unfortunately, we come up short. Higbee looks like blowing it again. Musial and Kiner both homered. So now our hopes are on Preacher Rowe to try to level things back up as we're playing in Philadelphia, which we were good at home and on the road, but so were they. So let's see how this one turns out with Game 4, Preacher Row. And Greenberg with a solo home run in the 5th, being the only run. Rowe shuts him down to 1 hit, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. What a stunning game for him. And that gives us tied back up 2 apiece. Satchel Paige taking the mound again to try to get us the lead before we go back home. Well, 14th inning walk-off. We lose. Higbee gets hurt as well. And so he's out for 2 weeks. What a crushing blow. So it's up to Tiant. He did it for us last season. Let's see if he can again this season after the bye as we come back home to try to finish this off and get another back-to-back title. And Game 6 ended up being a big one for us as we come back 16-5. Tiant getting the win. Kiner had 2 home runs for them, though, but it wasn't enough. Look at Musial has 8 RBI. He's hitting .320 for the series. Staying the man, indeed. Tiant, 11 strikeouts over the course of 14 innings. So now we get Warren Spahn out there, or do we want to switch it up and put Page back out there? He's been good. He's at just 3 earned runs. I mean, I think we have to send Satchel back out there. We're going to send old Satch back out there for Game 7 and see if he can bring it home. Oh, it proved to be a disaster for us. Getting refed up, 3 earned runs for only 4 strikeouts there, but couldn't get it. The A's are going to triumph. First time since 1913. Congratulations to them. Kiner getting the MVP. He's probably going to get the MVP of the season as well, or he's going to be right up there. Greenberg getting another home run, so he did his part for us. Just wasn't quite enough. And now we're going to go till we get to the draft and see how the offseason shakes out. And hopefully we can strengthen ourselves and get back there again and this time finish the job. We are ready for the first-year player draft here in November 1948. Cool Papa Bell, though, has finally retired. 2,200 hits, 99 home runs, 1,300 runs, 887 RBI. Also stole 374 bases. It had a really good career. Led the league in runs once, stolen bases twice. But he had so many seasons where he didn't really get to play regularly, or at the end here he was, but he was getting hurt. And so unfortunately, I don't think he's going to, he's an outside shot at the Hall of Fame. He's probably not going to make it for us, but he had a good career. So now we're going to the first year player draft. We are going to be drafting at the back as usual. We'll have to see what we can come up with. The list, there's really one big name I saw in this one, and it is Eddie Matthews, 500 home run Eddie Matthews, teammate of Hank Aaron. Joe Cunningham here, he was a Cardinal, did okay, but there's not really anybody else here. Vinegar Ben Mizell, that's just a great name. We might have to just take him. He was also a Cardinal. He won't be there, but just for the name alone, he should maybe get one. Hal Smith is one who had a pretty good career, but I don't recognize a lot of these others. Don Zimmer, hey, there we go. Maybe we'll just bring him in just to get him there with the Cardinals. But I don't know. Eddie and Joe are probably going to go. Jackie Jensen as well. We'll see. So starting off, the Boston Braves are going to take Joe Cunningham first. Cleveland's going to end up taking Eddie Matthews. Stu Miller goes to the Dodgers. The Tigers take Jackie Jensen. Vinegar Ben Mizell goes to the Yankees. The Giants take Roy Face. The Cubs, Johnny Temple. Billy Lowe's for the Reds. The Red Sox get Don the Sphinx Mossy. Wonder how he got that nickname. Senators take Hal Smith. Ray Herbert goes to the Pirates. The Browns take Gordon Jones. Paul Foytak to the White Sox. The Phillies take Ray Crone. Ed Roebuck to the Athletics. And now they are recommending that we take Sandy Consuegra, a Cuban. Doesn't really have much here. He did have a career for about 7 years. Doesn't really stand out as any amazing. Eddie Casco at shortstop, though. I like the contact and the avoiding strikeouts. That's not too bad. He's not great defensively, though. Chet Nichols, that's a name I recognize a little bit, but I don't know why. Maybe I'm getting mixed up with somebody else. I don't know. I think we're going to take Don Zimmer just because. We're going to take Don Zimmer. Don Popeye Zimmer. And that wraps up the first round. So we're going to finish this up, go through the offseason, and then come back and check on the rewards and the Hall of Fame voting as we get ready for the 1949 season. We are ready for opening day, 1949, once again kicking off against the Cincinnati Reds. Our lineup this time is going to be Eddie Stanky, Carl Furillo, Hank Greenberg, which we're probably going to move that around a little bit, Stan Musial, Roy Campanella, Monte Irvin, Phil Rizzuto, and Ray Dandridge. Now, this will probably change the order as we go, but this is what we're starting with. Monte Irvin's back in the lineup. We did have Cole Papa Bell retiring, like I said, so we have room for Carl Furillo. Vic Wirtz is also somebody who's going to get a lot of playing time. We have also called up Roy Sievers. He's ready to go also. In the pitching staff, we have Warren Spahn, then Satchel Paige, but again, might rotate. Preacher Rowe, Luis Tiant is hanging in there. Sal Magley, the AI recommended, our manager recommended that he get in the starting role instead of Satchel Paige, actually, but I'm going to we might switch that because Satchel's stamina is lower now and put Magley in there instead of having him be the stopper. Early Win is there. We did make a trade in the offseason. We traded for Hoyt Wilhelm. So we did get him for much less this time than what we almost did last season. We traded away Marv Rackley, a left fielder, 27 years old. So that one was a good one to the Phillies. Wilhelm will be a solid pitcher for us for a long time to come. As far as the Hall goes, Lefty Grove on his first year ballot for us, Charlie Gehringer and Bill Foster all making it on their first year. Bill Terry should make it, but he's not made it yet. Charlie Root should make it as well, but they haven't. Hack Wilson gets dropped. Grove did end up with 309 wins, 3.73 ERA, and 2,500 strikeouts. 300 strikeouts more, a few wins more, higher ERA though. So, but he did have a stretch here. He lingered on for a little bit, but led the league in losses 3 times. But he led the league in wins there, dominating. So he had a heck of a career. Charlie Gehringer made it. He had 2,700 hits, 144 home runs, 1,200 RBI, 1,400 runs, and 200 stolen bases. Where we see he outdid his stolen base number there. Outdid his home run total. He's one of our rare ones. Didn't quite make it there in hits. Just shy. But as far as RBI, he did better runs. He scored 1,700 runs in real life. Only got to 1,400. So he did actually produce more home runs in his... actually, no, he had fewer... Yeah. So he didn't quite live up to it as well. Bill Foster, a Negro League legend, if I recall correctly. Yeah, he was a Negro Leaguer. He 311 wins, 298 losses. That was a lot. But consistently leading the league in games started. ERA ended up being 3.57, 2,400 strikeouts. He did amazing for them. But again, Bill Terry should make it. He's 2,700 hits. He doesn't have the RBI and the run totals, but he led the league in hits 5 times. He doesn't have the awards to go along with it, though. He hit 400. He hit 397. I hope he can make it. We'll see if he does. The prospects for this season, Smokey Burgess and Willie Mays are the top 2. Elson Howard's number 3. We don't have any. Oh, we do have Roy Sievers there at number 9, so that's nice to see. When we go back and look at the awards from last season, we have the Gold Gloves go to Hal Newhouser. Again, 3 for him. Del Rice, Columbine's back up there. Joe Gordon, yet again. He's got to be up there. Okay, now his Hall of Fame metrics are showing up. Hopefully he makes it. Artie Wilson, Liddell, Gillenwater, some names I don't know. In the NL, Harry Breachin, Roy Campanella, yet again. Jackie Robinson gets one at second base. Alvin Dark, Philly, Richie Ashburn, Pat Mullen. Reliever of the year in the AL goes to Bobby Hogue, who had 9 saves. 8-2 record, though. 1.3 ERA. He did pitch in 83 innings. In the NL, Ted Wilkes gets it unanimously with 27 saves, 111 innings pitched, 2.67 ERA. The Silver Sluggers, I did rename that. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner. Diomedes Olivo with 4 home runs and a 374 batting average for this guy. Look at this. He doesn't even make the majors until he's in his 40s in 1960. This guy could be amazing. Wow. 1946, round 2 is where he came, but he is already doing great. Batting stats. That was a heck of a season. We'll see if he keeps it up. Walker Cooper, George Crowe, Hank Thompson, Bob Elliott, Joe DiMaggio getting it on there again. So he does have the Hall stats. He'll make it. 2,500 hits, 311 home runs, 1,300 RBI, 1,300 runs scored. Yeah, he'll definitely. He's got a couple more seasons potentially in him as well. So he's done quite well. Ted Williams does as well. No surprise there, 24 home runs. So he's continuing to add the hits. Where's he up to? 1,800 hits. He should hit his 3,000 in this playthrough, but his home run total, again, is lower than what we would have expected and what he did in real life. Dale Mitchell. In the NL, the Silver Sluggers, Josh Gibson getting yet another one. Putting pressure on the Babe now for that home run title since it didn't get to the 700. So Gibson, as long as he keeps going, 37, he's still got a shot. Still has a chance. Sid Gordon, who was offered to us several times by the Cubs, but they were wanting some of our better young players. Phil Rizzuto getting there for shortstop. Manny Minoso, Richie Ashburn, Stan Musial, no surprise. Probably making a run at the MVP. The Rookie of the Year goes to Bobby Hogue for the A's, just barely eking out Gil Hodges. So Hogue had that 9 saves. He won the Reliever of the Year as well. NL goes to Richie Ashburn, barely beating out Manny Minoso, who had 25 home runs. Wow, Richie Ashburn must have been his defense because all the offense goes to Manny Minoso there. So somehow he was able to squeak that by. Cy Young goes to Johnny Schmitz. That is his second one in a row as well. This is a guy who now he's coming into where he kind of disappears, but he had a good late 1940s run, and he's having that here, so we'll see how he does. And Diomedes Olivo for the Browns getting second. In the NL, went to Satchel Paige, unanimously, no less, finally getting his, third one, first one in 13 years. But he got one. So he's ready to go. He's definitely going to be in the Hall. It looks like he's got everything he needs, stacking up just nicely. Now he's going to add some saves to his name probably this season. Warren Spahn was up there as well, though, for us, and so was Preacher Rowe. Ted Williams picks up yet another MVP. That is his 5th one. And in the NL, Stan Musial, unanimous MVP, picking up his third one. 48, 43. So 47, 45, and 48. So he's picked 3 of the last 4 up, and hopefully he continues to do so. Those power numbers, he's not been able to get to where he was in real life. But again, I wonder if it's going to start leveling out, because I think as the totals are getting spread out among these players, but now as we get more integration happening from real life, maybe we'll see those numbers start to add up individually as far as the power numbers go, because the pitcher numbers seem to be somewhat similar still. So that's where we are going into 1949. We're going to go to the All-Star break. All right, we've reached the All-Star break in 1949. We are having another solid season, slightly lower win percentage, but we are 11 games up on the Cubs. That was not always the case. We started off kind of slow, and they started off hot. It's only been in the last month or so from June on that we were able to make this happen. You can see we're leading in runs scored. We're second in everything else, 5th in stolen bases and base running, first in runs against. Our starters and bullpen ERAs are all doing great. Defense is doing well. You can see Satchel Paige with 10 saves back there is doing fantastic, closing things out. The rest of the starting lineup's kind of iffy. We might give Early Wynn a shot in there for Preacher Rowe if he continues to struggle, but we'll play that one by ear as far as that goes. you can see Musial here. So Greenberg, 247, 11 home runs, 40 RBI, is actually doing quite well. Stan Musial has batting behind him. We did not make this change because he has 93 RBI at the break. It's amazing what he's doing. And so the Senators are a game and a half up on the Red Sox, 2 games up on the, so that is a tight one. Any of these teams have a shot to win those 6 there. We're running away with it here, though, in the NL, so hopefully we can continue to do that. And when we look at our league leaders so far in the AL, Whitey Lockman at 362. Ralph Kiner with 19 home runs is continuing to do it. Joe DiMaggio's up there in third. Ted Williams with RBI. He's got 14 home runs and 330 average as well, 69 RBI. Dom DiMaggio with 13 stolen bases. Ted Williams leading in OPS over Tommy Henrich. Batter war goes to Ted Williams. The hitting streak, 19 is the best number so far this season. Vic Raschi, ERA of 2.41 ERA. Hal Newhouser is up there yet again with 11 wins. Lefty Bo, 80 strikeouts. Joe Coleman with 12 saves, beating Joe Cascarella, who's been up there consistently. He is like on the Hall of Fame monitor, at least his metrics, because this guy has been setting the standard for saves. I bet he's going to come away with the career saves lead when we check in at the beginning of the next episode from 1950. And then Bill Whirl with pitcher WAR. Now in the AL or in the NL, Stan Musial at 389 is leading the way. Home runs, 26 home runs, leading the way. And RBI at 93 RBI, he could probably stop now and still get third. I mean, this guy's crushing it at the moment. How's he doing on runs scored even? In his runs scored, he's got 66 runs, 117 hits. What did he do in 1949? He only had 338, but he did have a lot of home runs, and he's getting those totals. That is insane. Sid Gordon's doing well too, but he's just getting run over by the steamroller that is Stan Musial. Richie Ashburn with 12 stolen bases. OPS by far Stan Musial. Batter war Stan Musial. Bill Cash and Del Ennis both had 15-game hitting streaks. Mel Queen with the ERA lead right now, 2.54. But then look at these wins. Tiant, Magley, and Spahn, all our guys up here. Strikeouts go to Kurt Simmons, then Bob Lemon, and Warren Spahn. No Bob Feller this time. Saves, Pat Page is third, but Nels Potter is leading the way with 13. And pitcher WAR is Cliff Chambers with Preacher Rowe. Not that far behind. I wonder, is he hitting the ball well? No, not really. So we'll see what the all-star teams are now. We've got all-star teams. Ray Brown, McDuffie, Hal Newhouser again, Johnny Schmitz again, Jumbo Brown again. Ballplayer Gonzalez is actually this guy. I wanted to keep track of him, and he's doing quite well. So he's having a pretty good, outside that first season, he's been doing really well out of the bullpen. We've got Walker Cooper again. Gil Hodges is making it. Hank Thompson, Bob Elliott, Lou Boudreau. Familiar names here. Ted Williams, Joe DiMaggio. No surprise as far as those two go. In the NL, Spud Chandler gets denoted as a starter. Preacher Rowe makes it for us. Satchel Paige makes it in relief. I'm surprised none of our, like Tiant didn't, or Magley, but that's okay. Roy Campanella beating out Josh Gibson, who has 10 home runs. His batting average is down to 256. Campanella's batting 295 with 10 home runs and probably going to win the Gold Glove yet again. Sid Gordon at first base. Jackie Robinson at second. Phil Rizzuto getting his third All-Star appearance, second in a row. Good for him. Minnie Minoso getting another one. Larry Doby is on there. Stan Musial as well. So that's where we're at the halfway mark. And it's going to be interesting. Can Musial keep this record-setting pace going or not? So we're going to go to the end and find out. The regular season wound down. We finished really well again, 154, just like we did last season. The Cubs, though, closed it to, I think, 5 games at one point, so they made a strong run. We ended up, though, offensively, we're great. Pitching, defense, great again. Greenberg had 22 home runs, hitting 257 for us. Roy Campanella, top 300, almost 100 RBI. Musial did slow down from his blazing pace, but still hit 373, 32 home runs, 144 RBI. We'll see if that's enough to get him the Triple Crown or not. Page did great. The bullpen did fantastic for us. Spahn struggled a little bit down the stretch. But Tiant, again, 22-6, 3.18 ERA. The man's an ageless wonder, just like Page. So that's exciting to see for us. Now, when we check, we will be going up against the White Sox, who won by a game over the Red Sox and a game and a half over the Browns, coming down to the end. When we see who won the season awards, or not the awards, but who topped the stats. Dale Mitchell did have 341. Kiner topped it again with home runs with 34. DiMaggio at 28. Ted Williams led the RBI race with 119. He had 26 home runs and a 337 average. Second there. DiMaggio was third, so he did have a great season again. Joe D did. Parnell Woods with 19 stolen bases. The OPS goes to Williams, followed by DiMaggio. Hoot Evers with an 8-1 WAR. Hitting streak was the 19 still. Terry McDuffie, 251, beating Vic Raschi. Jimmy Newberry with 22 wins. Hal Newhouser dropped to third. Lefty Bo, 148 strikeouts. Ballplayer Gonzalez with 20 saves, as well as Joe Page. So, and Olivo with a 6.5 pitcher WAR. How did he do hitting-wise? 234. He didn't have the same pop at the plate this time, but he did 141 strikeouts, 18 wins, 3.58 ERA. In the NL, Musial 373 average, trouncing the next closest, Jackie Robinson. But third, Sid Gordon beat him out. And this guy, Wally Westlake, I don't know him. Just showing up 2 seasons there. He did hit 24 was his high in 1950 for Pittsburgh. I don't know. Oh, no, wait. Yeah. Wow. Well, he came out of nowhere in the second half. Musial, though, leading in RBI, beat Del Ennis. Richie Ashburn with 23 stolen bases. Stan Musial crushing it on the OPS. Batter WAR was actually Jackie winning it, or not winning it, but outdoing Stan Musial. Willard Marshall with 22 hit streak along with Wally Westlake. He probably hit a bunch of home runs in that hitting streak. Bobby Doerr still ended with a 17-game active hit streak going into next season. Spud Chandler barely beating out Luis Tiant. Luis Tiant did get the first in wins, though, beating out Spud Chandler. Lino Donoso with 161 strikeouts. Spud Chandler was up there again, third. He had a heck of a year at 42 years old. Nels Potter and Ted Wilkes tied at 25 saves apiece, and Preacher Rowe with the pitcher WAR. So that brings us to the playoffs. And the White Sox, who were third in runs scored, second in runs against, while we were first and second. This tends to lean towards us because we were really good at home as well. We are going to get just 3 games at home, though, right in the middle. So that's going to be kind of interesting. Now, the White Sox have not made the World Series in our simulation. Last one they made was 1919 before we started. 1917 was their win. We are hoping to bounce back after losing last time to win this one. But we will see how we do here. Well, we came out victorious this time, 4-1 over the White Sox. I did not go game by game in this one because what's happening is, and if you have a way to solve this for me, is the end of the season is really running sluggish on me right now, and I think it's because of all these minor league teams. There's just so many. Now, I'm hoping it will get better over the course of the save because some of these will disappear and go away. So I'm hoping that'll help speed it up a little bit again because I don't have any problems at the beginning of the season. It's once it hits around August, September that it starts to slow down and get really, really slow. So I just wanted to work my way through this instead. But we won in game 1, 8-4, 3-1 in game 2. Irvin, who ended up winning the MVP, won 8-5. Then we lost 6-0. Raffensperger beating Magley, and then Spahn came back and we were able to win. Greenberg getting a home run 7-4. As far as Musial goes, he really struggled this season in there, but Monte Irvin, 467 average. Vic Wertz did great. Dandridge did great. Greenberg got a 6 RBI as well. So things went well as far as the pitching goes. Satchel Paige did get in with 3 strikeouts, 2 2/3 innings pitched, but he got beat around a little bit with 6 hits, 13.5 ERA. Tiant was the one. His one game was amazing. Preacher Rowe did great. Sal Magley did okay in his. It was just afterwards that probably Page that got beat around there. So that's where we're at. We finally got another championship, and the next step is just to wrap up the 1940s. And when we come back at the beginning of the next episode, we'll see as far as statistics go what the season leaders and the career leaders and such are like, who's on pace to maybe hit some milestones as we move into the next decade of this Legends in the Making playthrough. So I want to appreciate you guys watching it. Hope you're enjoying it, and we will see you on the next episode.